guys, my name is Shani and welcome to the first episode of Sitting With Shar. I am so excited to finally be doing this. I have been wanting to get back into podcasting for a very long time and I'm so excited for this episode and everything that's coming up as well. So I really hope you guys are going to enjoy this podcast. Basically, I want to use this space for topics that I can't really deep dive into on stream and I don't really feel like making a video about. I feel like this is the perfect in-between space to kind of chat and chill and hang out and just get into things a bit more. With some of the topics that are coming up, we're going to be talking about things involving mental health and physical health and just some experiences that I've had in my lifetime, and all of those things are going to be coming up in the next few weeks. And I just want to let you know that these are all just from my experiences and my opinions. None of it is professional advice, and if you need help in any way, please go and seek the help of a professional. That is not me. I am not a professional, and maybe my advice will work for you. If it does, that's amazing, but always talk to a licensed professional first before you take advice from a podcast. Yeah. So I guess I should introduce myself in case you don't know me. My name is Shani. You may know me as Charmander29 on Twitch or on YouTube. I stream about 4 to 5 times a week on Twitch, and I run 2 YouTube channels, Charmander29 and Shani Space. I post once a week on each of those. And yeah, in my real life, I am a medical science student. I'm in my 4th year. I'm about to graduate at the end of this year. So I'm going to be a scientist, which is so cool. So I work part-time. I also have a partner of 7 years, well, nearly 7 years, Graham. You might hear me talk about him in this. In my spare time outside of streaming and content creating, I love reading. I'm a big book nerd. I love my plants. I have so many plants and I just love taking care of them and propagating them, and yeah, it just makes me really happy. So I guess that's a little bit about me in case you don't know me. I hope you feel like you know me a little better now. So let's get into today's episode. I'm so excited about this. This is something I've been wanting to do a deep dive on for a while now, and it is about Twitch. A lot of people come onto my streams and ask me how I started on Twitch, any advice that I have on building a channel and increasing numbers and all of this sort of stuff. And a lot of the times I kind of just skim over the topics or the advice that I have for people, but I never really get into it as much as I want to. So today we are going to do a full episode on this. We are going to talk about my tips and advice for getting started on Twitch in 2022, how I would get started and how I did get started, and from my perspective and my opinions, how to grow your channel. So I really hope that if you are starting Twitch or you're thinking about starting Twitch, or maybe you have a channel already and you want to just build it a bit more, I really hope that this can help you. Let me know in the comments if you use any of this advice. I would love to hear how it goes for you. That would be awesome. So let's get into it. I guess the first thing that a lot of people think about when starting Twitch is, should I even bother? There are so many channels out there now that have millions of followers and get so many subs every day and are just crazy popular and big and have so many viewers, and it's like, why would I even start? I highly recommend starting Twitch. Even if you think your platform's not going to grow, if you think it's not going to go anywhere, I highly recommend starting it. Even with all of the numbers aside, Twitch has been such a valuable experience for me. It has given me a lot of self-confidence. It has given me a better relationship with myself. I know how to hold my values. I know how to stand up for myself. I know how to voice my opinion now a lot better than I used to before I started Twitch. I feel like I have better social skills now. I feel more confident in social settings. I feel more confident on camera, and I feel happier. I feel like I'm doing something creatively that is letting me express myself in a different way than studying and working does. Before Twitch, I was just studying and working, so I was really missing that creative outlet, and I feel like Twitch has really provided me a space where I can make it my own, and I really have. So if you want to get started on Twitch, and you don't think it's going to go anywhere, do it. I highly recommend it. It has been such a valuable and incredible experience for me. I've met so many amazing people around the world. I've had so many valuable conversations on my streams. I've had so many beautiful people reach out to me and tell me how that I have helped them in their lives, whether it's with anxiety, sleeping, their sexuality, and discovering more about themselves and finding who they are, feeling comfortable and accepted and loved in a space and having a safe space to come to. It's been such a beautiful and rewarding experience for me. So I highly recommend streaming 110%, and you can still do it in 2022. And I'm going to show you how. We're going to get into this. So once I decided that I wanted to start streaming, the first thing that was on my mind was, do I have the setup for it? And I basically I had a little PC that wasn't really built to run anything other than like Minecraft and just studying in general. And I didn't have a camera, I didn't have any lighting, and I didn't have a microphone, and I didn't have anything. I didn't have a background, I had nothing. And my first thought was, I need the best equipment to get started. I need the most expensive camera, I need like the big like lights and everything that I can like make my space look beautiful and colorful and neon and amazing. I need a really interesting and intricate background. I need the best microphone that I can get. I need 2 monitors. I need everything. You know, I had this whole complex setup in my mind of what I needed to get started, and I was so wrong. I was so wrong. I kept putting streaming back until I had the money to afford these things, but all of this was so ridiculously expensive. I would be putting streaming back even now if I kept waiting. And my advice for you is, do not wait until you have the setup to get started. Do not wait until you have the $2,000 camera and, 3 ring lights and whatever. Don't wait. Start with your basics and build from there. So my tip for you is, look at what you have now. Do you have a laptop? Do you have a PC? What sort of system are you running? What sort of games can it handle? Do you have a camera? Do you have a microphone? What do you have available? And then from there, what do you need? Not what you want, what you need. For me, I actually started with no camera. I started just playing Minecraft with just my voice and just talking and just trying to get more comfortable with that. And then I got this camera. It was really cheap, just a cheap webcam that I still use today. And I saved up enough to get a mic, and slowly I started to build my system from there. So if you can start with your basics, you can build from there. And as your streams continue to grow and become more successful, you can go from there. While you're figuring out your setup and what you need, make sure you also think about why you want to stream. Have some goals in mind. For me, my goal was to get more confident on camera. That was my goal. I highly recommend streaming because you want to. And I know that this sounds really simple and really like obvious, like why would like isn't that the point? But I know a lot of people who stream purely to get money. It's more of a money grab thing, and they don't actually enjoy the streaming process themselves. They get really tired out really easily. They get very burnt out, and they're just in it for the money. While the money can be great on Twitch, depending on how you go, make sure you want to stream. Make sure you enjoy streaming, and make sure you're doing it because it makes you happy. I think that's one of my biggest tips, because if you're enjoying your stream, people are going to enjoy watching you. If you feel burnt out and tired and just like really lethargic when you're streaming, you just don't feel like being there, it shows, especially in your voice, especially on camera. People can tell when you don't want to be there, and people are less likely to watch you if you don't want to, like if you don't even want to be at your own stream. People are probably not going to want to be there either. So my biggest tip for you is definitely, try streaming out. If you don't like it, maybe it's not the right thing for you, but make sure if you're getting into streaming and you're doing it, make sure you're doing something that you enjoy. 100%. Another thing that goes with that as well, that is another tip of mine actually, is stream what you want to stream. Don't stream what's popular at the time if you don't enjoy it. Like, don't do content that you don't enjoy, because it ties in with that. If you're not enjoying your content, people can tell. Do things that make you happy. Do things that make you excited to stream. For me, I first streamed Minecraft because Minecraft was really the only game that I sort of felt comfortable playing in front of people, and I just kept going with it. So, and it's been amazing. But I still get a lot of people who come into my streams and say, you should be doing this on Minecraft, you should be up to here on Minecraft, why haven't you bothered with this on Minecraft? And it's because I'm playing how I want to play. I'm doing what I want to do on my streams. It is my space. And I think that is something that I want you to understand if you are streaming. This is your space. And I think that is one of the most empowering things about Twitch, is that this space that you are creating, this brand that you are creating this on this platform, it is yours. You can design it how you want to. You get to decide the rules. You get to decide the environment that you want to display and create in this space for people. For me, it's all about comfort. It's all about cozy vibes, acceptance, and just feeling good. I want people to feel welcomed and happy to be in my space. That is what I look for. And if you can figure out what sort of space you want to have and create your brand around that, that is going to help a lot with people coming into your space, identifying what sort of experience they're going to have in your space. That's going to help you a lot. I really sidetracked there, didn't I? So yeah, stream what you want to stream, make your space how you want to make it, and just make it yours. I think that's one of the best things, one of the things that I love about Twitch. Whenever I don't feel comfortable with something on my channel, or I don't like the way something is running, I have the power to change it, and I find that to be one of the best parts, because it's my own little space. So we have our basic setup for stream now. We have our basic equipment to get started. We have our goals in mind. We know why we want to stream. We've got some ideas about what sort of a space we want to make and what sort of streams we want to put out there. And now it's actually time to get onto Twitch. And before you hit start stream, make sure you take the time to put your brand out there. Make sure you take the time to customize your Twitch channel. And I know this is another thing that seems really obvious, but as a viewer, when I go onto people's Twitch pages, I like to scroll down and look at the About Me section and stuff, and it would surprise you how many people have not really got anything there at all, or the only thing that they've got in there is a donate button. It's very off-putting as a viewer to go down and read about a person and understand more about your streamer and just see donate. There's nothing else there. It's not very inviting for me personally. So I highly recommend, if you are starting to stream and you've got an idea of what you want to be as your brand, customize your page. Put an About Me in there. For my About Me, I've got a photo down there, a bit about me, my hobbies, what I enjoy, a bit about my channel and previous achievements. Got a bunch of links to other content. I try to make it so that people can get to know me a bit more. So if someone comes to your channel when you're not live, they can still get to know you a little bit and get an idea of what sort of streams you're putting out there. So make sure you take the time to put in a profile picture, put in About Me, put in a little description, maybe put in a banner. Make it a nice space for people to come and check out if you're not live. If you are live and people want to know more about you, it's a really great way to bring more people in. So make sure you customize and really set the tone for your streams with your page. I'm not going to go into what programs and websites to use for stream. I use OBS, but I started with Streamlabs OBS. I'm not really going to talk much about using those programs and how to set them up and all that. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube for that. Once you've set all of that up, it's time to stream. And This is probably the scariest part. For me, hitting that go live button at the start was terrifying. And it was terrifying for a while. I didn't get over that anxiety for a very long time. And I know that this is common. I've spoken to a lot of streamers and they've all said when they first started streaming, it took them a while to get used to being live and presenting themselves. And eventually you kind of get the hang of how you want to present yourself on the internet and how you act on camera. For me, I just try to be myself at all times. I try to just be really relaxed. I let myself make mistakes. I try to just be normal because I think that that really lets people connect with you more rather than being scripted and perfect all the time. So that's just me. I'm just giving a little example of what I do. Hitting that live button is the scariest thing. But let me tell you something that I wish that I'd known. No one's really going to come in at the start. And I know that this can be such a big, demotivator. It can make you feel like crap. It can make you be like, well, what's the point? But I think that it is a really valuable time when you first start streaming and you maybe have one viewer coming in. Use this time to figure out how you want to be on the internet. Figure out how you want to be, whether it's on camera, whether you're a VTuber and you're talking. Get used to being in the space of stream. Get used to figuring out how it all works and presenting yourself, greeting people, welcoming them in, responding to people. Use this time to get used to it all, because I can guarantee you, once things start to pick up and you get more people coming in, if you have a better idea of what you're doing, it's going to be a lot easier for you later on. Another bit of advice that I have for getting into Twitch when you're just first starting stream, you probably don't have any moderators. I would highly recommend setting up an auto mod. This is a feature on Twitch that will flag any suspicious messages, any bots, anything like that, and you can prevent them from posting as much in your chat. Sometimes bots will still get through, but it highlights and flags a lot of suspicious users and things like that, and it can really just help you when you're first starting out to prevent trolls and spam and all of that from coming into your streams. So I highly recommend setting that up early and just giving yourself a chance to prevent any of the less great side of Twitch coming into your chat. Another tool that you can use on Twitch that I highly recommend is, I think it's blocking hyperlinks. Basically, if you turn this on, people can't post links in your chat. A lot of people will come in and tell you to click these links or play this song and do all this stuff. And I would highly recommend not clicking any of those links if you don't know what it is. 100% don't. And blocking the hyperlinks can really just help you with preventing those links coming up in your chat and making it less safe for your viewers who may click on them. Hopefully they don't. So I highly recommend using those sorts of tools to your advantage. And when you're getting started on stream, even before you start streaming, make sure you go through your Twitch settings and just explore your stream manager and the different features of Twitch that can help you really just set up your space even more. It can help make your streams feel a bit safer, especially for you as a streamer. I know when I first started, I had a lot of anxiety around who was going to come into my chats, what were they going to say, and what was going to happen. And putting some of these safety features on can just really take away some of that anxiety and make you feel a bit better about your streams, and you won't have as much to worry about fixing while you're live. I highly recommend setting all that up. So let's say that you've been streaming now, you've got some people coming in and people are starting to say hi and chat a little bit. One of my biggest tips is interact with your chat. Ask questions to them. Be active in talking. I like to try and remember things about my chat. It's helped me a lot with my memory. I try to remember certain names and a thing or two about them. So when people come in, I can say, oh, how's this going? How's your pet going? How's this happening in your life? Things like that can make people feel special. It makes people feel seen, it makes people feel heard, and it makes people feel accepted into your space. The fact that you've remembered them, it can make them feel really special. So I highly recommend get to know your chat, get to know the lovely people there, because I can tell you right now, the internet can be scary, and there are a lot of not so nice people on Twitch and the internet. We all know this, but there are also so many genuine and lovely people on the internet, and Twitch is an amazing way to be able to get to meet these people that may live across the world from you. You may not have met them outside of Twitch, and it's just such a cool experience. So interact with your chat, ask questions, get to know them, get to find out interesting things about them, and hopefully you make some new friends, and I hope it's an amazing experience for you. I hope you have as an amazing experience as I have had. I have made so many beautiful friends that I can't wait to travel and meet. I'm so excited. So yeah, that's a massive tip from me. If you want your following to grow more, interact, get to know people. I think that one of the biggest things with Twitch is connecting. If a viewer can connect with their streamer, that is probably the biggest way you're going to grow your platform. If you are scripted and perfect and everything is absolutely perfect all the time, it's fun to watch, but it's not very relatable, in my opinion. I think it can make for some great content. Don't get me wrong, but I think if you are scripted and perfect all the time and everything is perfectly smoothly run, and people aren't really interacting with their chat, they're more focused on the content, it can make it more difficult to connect with your streamer and for the streamer to their viewers. And I think that connection and that relationship is really what has helped me to grow my platform, is because I try to take the time to talk to people, to get to know them, and try to have really nice chats. And that is one of my biggest tips to you. If you can take these steps that I am providing and make a space the way you can connect with people, I think that it will really help you grow your platform further than just purely content and no connection. Another thing that I highly recommend doing if you're new to Twitch, if you are just starting streaming on Twitch, find your people. Go and find streamers who are like you. And when I say this, I mean, I don't mean like go and promote yourself in their chats and be like, hey, I stream, you should come and follow me. I don't mean do that. I've had a lot of people do that, and I think it has more of the opposite effect, and people are less likely to check you out if you are just coming into streams and just straight up promoting your content. I think a lot of people are less likely to click on you then, and it doesn't give you a very good name in that community. Go and find people who have spaces similar to yours and just chat, hang out, get to know them, get to know the streamer and the chat, and just try to enjoy their space as well. One thing that I did when I was first starting Twitch is I went and found a lot of streamers that I looked up to and that I really enjoyed their content, and I used to just write down things that I liked about their stream that I wanted to include in my own stream. I used to write down, like, I really like that camera angle, I really like how they've got this border around their camera, I really like how they're commentating on this game. And I used to just like write notes about bits and pieces of different streams and be like, this is kind of the vibe that I want to have for my stream. And from there, I was able to create a foundation to build on with what I wanted to do in my space. So I highly recommend going out there, find your people, talk to them. A lot of people, if you're in their community often, if people recognize your name, if people have, you know, good chats with you and everything's great and you give good vibes, people are most likely going to follow you. There's another way to build your platform by going out into different communities and just making yourself known, and not through promoting yourself, but by interacting and connecting and forming new relationships. So finding other communities and really just, I think, investing your time in communities similar to yours can also be a really great way to grow your channel, because you're sort of promoting yourself by being yourself in chat and by enjoying other people's content. You are creating a name for yourself. If you are chatting with people and creating really nice conversations, people are going to want to check out your page. And that goes back to what I said before. If people are clicking on your name and checking out your page, and you've got a fully customized branded page, you've got about you information, you've got maybe a channel trailer later on in life, like if you've got all of this set up and people can see that, wow, they've really got a brand going here, they're a lovely person, you're most likely going to get a follow. So I highly recommend investing your time not only in your own Twitch page, but also in other communities and creating that name for yourself. It's really great to have friends who stream, not only as an opportunity to collaborate with them and have fun, but also for advice and questions on what they do on their streams and like different streaming platforms that you're using. You can talk about whether you use OBS or Streamlabs OBS and what sort of things you're doing on there. How did you get this to work? And I've done this so many times. Like I have asked so many people about like lighting and how they've made a certain thing work on OBS, and it's been really, really useful to have people going through similar situations with streaming that you can reach out to. Another side of that is also mental health. People can watch your streams as much as they want, but being an actual streamer and actually putting yourself out there is a whole different ballgame. And just having a group of people that are doing the same thing, you can really connect with them in that experience, and you can really find comfort in those experiences. For me, it was when I first started to get bullied on Twitch, when I first started to get people sexualizing me on Twitch, I was able to talk to people about it and get comfort in that it wasn't me. It wasn't what I was doing. It was more a reflection of those people. And I want to do an episode on mental health and Twitch and streaming. I want to do a whole episode on that. So that's going to be a separate thing. But having that community around you is very, very precious. And I highly recommend finding your people on Twitch. So my last tip for getting started on Twitch is reinvest in your streams. This is something that I started doing automatically. I am a uni student. I don't have a lot of money. I barely have time to work around my degree. It's a very hectic degree. So really getting into Twitch, I didn't really have a lot of money. So once I'd hit the affiliate program and I started to actually earn some money off Twitch, I was able to reinvest that into my streams. And instead of spending it on myself or on things that I wanted, like, clothes or shoes or whatever, I reinvested it into this. And I've been able to get a capture card, a stream deck. I've been able to set up my background. I've been able to buy this desk. I've been able to upgrade my PC. I've been able to get a second monitor, and just so much that has helped me raise my streams to the next level and continue to do that. And it's really gratifying to be able to sit back now and look at where I have come from with one little ring light that was $10 from Kmart and a cheap webcam to this. And it's incredible when you reinvest into yourself and when people can see your growth and can see your change and grow with you in that experience. When people who start watching your streams can watch you grow and watch your space grow with you, it's so beautiful. So I highly recommend any money that you get off Twitch, reinvest into yourself. That list of equipment that you need and you started off with, start looking into things that you could do to make things slightly better, start to improve. For example, I have this webcam, but I wanted to start YouTube content, but I can't take this webcam anywhere because it has to be hooked up to my computer all the time. So let me get it. If you're on YouTube, you can see this, but if you can't, you can just hear me talk about it. So I started off with this webcam, and I still use this webcam. It's a great webcam, but I wanted to make YouTube videos. So I bought this camera here, and I invested a lot of my Twitch money into saving up for this camera. And I've been wanting this for years, and I finally got it. It was I bawled my eyes out when I could finally afford it. I don't have a lot of money as a university student, so to be able to afford this camera and the setup for it was insane to me, and it still is that I even own this thing. It's incredible. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you were able to get something from this. I think my summary, like I said before, is it's all about connection. If you are connecting with people in your community, in different communities, if you have got a space that people can clearly see your brand, they can see what you are promoting and what sort of a space you are providing, they are more likely going to follow you if they connect with you and they connect with that space. So definitely look into different ways that you can connect with people and strengthen those connections. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you're watching, thank you for watching. Make sure you sub to the YouTube channel. I'll have all my links below for everything else that I do. If you want to come say hi on Twitch, please do. Let me know that you watched this and you came from here. I would love to say hi. Thank you so much for being here. If you're listening, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you like this, subscribe, whatever the platform lets you do. Make sure you click those buttons, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye!